Hello and welcome back to the Agostino Zinga Show with your host, Agostino Zinga, and this is episode number 831. That is Ocho Tres Uno of the Agostino Zinga Show, coming at you live and direct from an undisclosed location somewhere within the depths of London. It is your boy, Agostino Zinga. How you doing? How you feeling? Great, amazing. How am I? Really good. Cannot lie, really flipping good. Had some really good news this week that I'm really pumped about, that I will probably be announcing later in another pod. But just wanted to say I'm feeling in an amazing mood. I'm training a bunch, eating well, drinking loads of flipping water. My back at the moment is currently really aching because I was lifting very heavy the other day, so my back is really troubling me. But apart from that, I'm feeling on top of the world. I cannot lie, I cannot complain. I'm feeling absolutely on top of the world. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. You know what I mean? You know that tune, right? You know that tune. That's how I'm feeling. I'm not going to lie. Feeling bloody good. It's mad how quickly your mood, even though my mood was great this week, it's mad how quickly your mood can increase, or you can get, in a far better mood than you were prior based on a little bit of good news. A little bit of good news can really kind of make you think, oh my God, man, all of those months, all of those years of pain and struggle have finally amounted to something, which is annoying because at the moment, when you're going through like a tough time, when you're going through a tough spell, it feels like it's never ending, It feels like it's never ending. Trust me, I know. Guess what? I grew up poor. Yeah, he said it again. Anyway, so I would know more than anybody that sometimes when you grow up poor, you realize, Ted, man, when are our fortunes ever going to turn around? I see mum and dad trying their best. I see mum and dad putting their best foot forward, working as hard as possible to provide for us. I see it. What's going on? When will our luck change? And then suddenly it does change, whether through prayer, whether through luck, whether through hard work, timing, who knows? It does change, and then suddenly you forget about all those hard times. In the hard times, you can't think of anything else apart from the hard time you're in. If somebody tries to give you words of encouragement, tries to make you feel positive, you end up kind of like despising them. You end up hating them, right? Because you thinking like you ain't got the answers, right? It's like that infamous interview with what's his name, with Kanye, right? You ain't got the answers with DJ Sway. You ain't got the answers. Because he was frustrated. He was going through a hard time. He was hitting his head against a brick wall. I think that also was just before Yeezy dropped. Or Yeezy, the Yeezy line. And what he was right anyway, what he was saying. He was basically saying, hey man, I can't produce at the level that I want to produce at because I don't have the means of productions available to me. And I guess the fashion business is similar to the drug business in that the people who control the manufacturing, the production of said garments are the ones that are in control of the fashion industry. And certain brands, certain houses, certain conglomerates have a hold on certain means of production. So unless you're in bed with those guys, you can't get your stuff on at a certain level. You just can't. Unless you make your own factory and start from scratch, you can't do it. And even that won't probably help because there's certain infrastructure, certain things that you have to kind of, be aligned with. So Ye's frustration during that Sway interview was like, hey, you think you got the answers. You're just telling me to do it by myself. I'm telling you, I can't do it by myself. Number one, because it costs so much. Number two, no one does it by themselves. And number three, the means of production is sort of like, it's in this protected by this cartel of fashion conglomerates. I need help. I need those guys to let me in. Then I got the answers. So when people suggest things to you, try and give you ideas, you're like, yo, you don't know what you're talking about, man. I know you mean well. I know your heart's in the right place. I know you're trying to help me out here. But honestly, you don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. So it's really difficult for people to really understand unless you've gone through a tough time. So when times do turn around, you're like, you see, I knew it would happen, but it just took a little bit longer than I would have liked. It wasn't on my timing, I'd like it to turn around on my timing, but that wasn't the case. But regardless, things are turning around. Things are looking up. Your G's out here smiling again. I'm still moisturized. I'm still looking good. I still smell like $1,000,000, right? Body will be tea by the end of the year. You know what it is. But apart from that, feeling absolutely brilliant. Cannot complain. I'm feeling absolutely darn right brilliant. But someone who isn't feeling brilliant, I saw some clips earlier on today. Right, of that guy called Johnny Somali. Do you remember him? There's this kid called Johnny Somali who was terrorizing people in Japan. He was going to Japan. I think he might be Canadian, right? I think so. I'm not too sure. But regardless, he went to Japan and he was causing a ruckus over there, filming himself, IRL streamer, filming himself all day, going on the public transport, making a nuisance, doing all the stuff that you can do and get away with in Western Europe. But over there in Japan, they're a little bit more, you know, they're a little bit more chill. They have a certain order about how they do things, which is probably why that country is so beautiful, why people love it so much. But they have a different way of life. So he's going there essentially disrupting their way of life, causing a ruckus and basically making all of us foreigners, especially us blacks, especially us Negroes, he's making us all look horrible out there by just causing an absolute ruckus out there. Well, luckily for us, right, who believe in karma, he did get his comeuppance. He got beaten up by like a random tourist, I feel like. the guy was a random tourist. He might not have been. Maybe he lives in Japan. But he looked like a white dude with like a man bun. And at one point in this viral video, the kid is like streaming, doing his thing, trying to like troll people. And this random white kid or guy just rocks up to him and his friend and just punches them both. Knocks them both out. Knocks them to the ground. You see the camera shake with 2 punches. Bang, bang. And just walks away calm. And everybody in the internet cheered. Yeah, they got knocked out. But he kept on continuing to troll. It's cool. He kept on trolling. And then I guess his infamous troll that got him in prison and ended with him going to prison in Japan was him going on a building site. I didn't know that was a big, again, don't laugh at me. Don't tease me. Don't laugh, don't tease. But I didn't know it was illegal to go on a building site. I guess it is in Japan. It's a very big crime. So he filmed himself going on a building site, causing a ruckus. The builders on there like, the builders out there, they shoot him away. They told him to go get the fuck out of here. But that particular thing that he did ended up with him getting in real trouble, ended up with him going to a Japanese prison. Now, everybody assumed, imagine you're a foreigner. Imagine you going on holiday, extended vacation to somewhere like Japan to go and stream, and then you end up in prison in that country. For most people, that would be a wake-up call. For most people, that would be a wake-up call, right? It reminds me of that one time that I ended up in the Berlin prison after a weekend spent out in Berghain for like 1 million hours. I'll probably, you know what I'll do? I'll probably tell that story on Patreon. Join the Patreon. I'm going to tell it on the highest tier that will be available. I'll let you guys know how one day during one crazy weekend in Berlin, I ended up in a Berlin prison. Absolute realness. So that story will be told. Yes, I'm going to record that later. That story will be told and will be shared on Patreon only. So join the Patreon, patreon.com/Agostino. Link is down below in the description. If it isn't, just remember at the patreon.com/Agostino how I ended up in a Berlin prison after a crazy weekend in Berghain. If you want to know that story, head off to the Patreon. Anyway, he ends up in this Japanese prison. You think he's going to change his ways. He doesn't change his ways. Then this Johnny Somali guy comes out. He's on the same type of madness. He eventually gets kicked out of Japan anyway. Cool. But now, guess where he's at now? Guess where he's at now? Yes, you guessed it. He's in Korea. He's in South Korea, causing an absolute ruckus again. You know? Myron, again. Like, he's doing it again. Again. Like, you couldn't write it, mate. So I'm not too sure if now he's just realized this is his big money earner, right? He's getting a lot more views on this sort of content. Even though I don't think he's on Kick. I don't know if he's even streaming on Kick anymore. Because even though Kick is like the wild, wild west, I'm not even sure Kick would allow him to like stream like that. I'm not too sure with that sort of content. I think they're trying to go somewhat legit. But I don't know where he's at the moment, but I watched a video by the YouTuber called Tazs, who did a really good recap about his situation and what's going on. And yeah, man, it's bleak. It's kind of bleak to see somebody on that path of destruction, really not giving a crap, and essentially sullying the name of all foreigners around the world who will eventually end up going to Korea themselves, because he is really, really giving us all a bad name, and especially us blacks, especially us Negroes. Like, we all look horrible with this guy doing what he's doing. I'm actually going to play a little bit of the video here so you can see what I'm talking about, but it really made my heart break in general, and it kind of made me wonder, like, what happened to just going somewhere and exploring it for the sake of exploring it and not turning everything into like a opportunity to make crazy content and go viral, like coming away with experiences, coming away with like knowledge, coming away with insights and whatever that you wouldn't have ever got if you never went there. Because much of traveling, as much as you can take pictures and document stuff, a lot of the stuff that you do in traveling that's really cool happens between the margins, happens away from the camera, for stuff that you can't really capture for content. It's stuff that you maybe hear, see, feel, all that stuff is what kind of adds to your overall experience. So let me play the video here. I'll play a little bit of it. It says IRL streamer is destroying his life in Korea, arrested. So he got arrested again in Korea, but I wonder how this is going to end for him. So let me get this video playing so that we can see what's happening. But big up Tazs, one of my favorite YouTubers. He does great work. Let's get this going. Bear with me a second as it loads. Buppity 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 ba. There we go. It's loading now. Big up Tazs. Big up Tazs. Douche douche douche. Are you gonna load? Are you gonna load? Are you gonna give me something? Give me something if you don't mind. Come on, computer.
I'm carrying fish to my hotel. What is crime?
Let's go back and let it load properly so it doesn't go crazy. There you go. It should be okay now. Hopefully it loads okay. Bish bash bosh. Just go back a little bit and look at everyone looking as well. Like, because I guess it's just not common for regular people just get stopped on the street. It's almost like a form of embarrassment and shame to get stopped by the police and spoken this way. But he's like arguing, doing all this like Western shit, you know, like flipping hell, man. Just listen to the guy and keep it moving. Bloody hell, this dude. Anyway, let me play the video so you can see what I mean. This guy's a mess.
I'm carrying fish to my hotel. What is crime?
I love how he's being super condescending as well by speaking English in that like weird accent that he's doing. What is crime? Like, he's such a piece of shit, innit? He's such a piece of shit. Like he's kind of taken over from like, who's that other guy? The English dude, who's really annoying too. There's like a breed of IRL streamers who kind of, their brand is to be as annoying and disgusting and irredeemable as possible. And I feel like he's taken over from him. He's a British dude. He used to hang around with like Ice Poseidon. I forgot his name, but I feel like he's taken over from him in that regard.
Right to say you should never have kids.
Oh my! And if you can't see the video, he's in a. Because in Asia, because I watch a lot of these videos and stuff, which is really cool when they go to like 7-Elevens or like convenience stores and stuff, right? Really cool videos on YouTube. And I guess in Korea, there's convenience stores that also have little tables at the front where you can sit down and have like, you can have fucking, what's it called? You can have like ramen and shit. So I'm assuming they've got the box of ramen in there. They've probably got some water so you can kind of steam it up and shit, and you can eat it at the table before you leave. Or if you just want to go in and eat. So he's in there eating this shit and he's pouring all the excess water on the table. So he's clearly drunk, or maybe he's not and just trolling, whatever he's doing. He just sat at this table, live streaming in the store, which is probably not allowed. If you do it, just be calm. But he's live streaming, he's got the TTS on, and he's just pouring all the excess water all over the desk he's sitting on. Like, imagine. It's bad enough doing this in England or in Western Europe. But imagine going to a place like Asia and doing this. Like, people are going to look at you like, are you crazy? Are you okay? Do you need to go to a mental institute? Like, people don't ramp with that sort of stuff over there. Horrendous stuff that this guy's doing. Nice throwing stuff. Nice throwing noodles at the door. What the hell?
Call the police, stupid ass bitch.
Call the police, stupid ass bitch.
Monkey asshole, shut up, bitch.
Oh boy. Yeah, this streamer was just arrested in Korea, and the arrest footage he desperately tried to have his moderators scrub off the internet was just leaked. So today we're talking about the IRL streamer who's the human equivalent to a skid mark, as his entire business is based off of being a burden to society.
I could take that as a racial insult, referring to the guy as a human representative, a human example of a skid mark. I could take that as a racist dig, but I'm not going to scream racismo, because this guy is horrible. So if he wants to call him a racial slur in order to drive the point home, he gets my permission.
As many of you guys know, he was arrested for this behavior in Japan and ended up spending about 3 months in jail. Then later on, he was arrested in Israel for the exact same behavior. So I guess his logic is, why not go 3 for 3 and get arrested for being a garbage human being in Korea?
You got me cuffed to a fucking wall, bro. This is fucking crazy, bro.
So my last
And I love how, so he normally films himself when he gets arrested. He'll hide his phone in his pocket and live stream. And I love how he thinks he's getting away with it, when really they're just letting him keep his phone because they know he's a wasted loser foreigner. They just want to make him calm down, relax, make him see sense, and then send him on his way. He thinks he's like, oh my God, I'm getting away with this crazy thing. I'm doing this like super crazy thing. They haven't seen my phone. Ha ha, jokes on them. It's like, bro, they saw your phone. They're letting you have it because you're a flipping gringo. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Video we showed how he's been harassing the public of South Korea for his own content, including cussing out elders and throwing food inside of a 7-Eleven after being told to remain respectful. That is apparently something he isn't capable of doing, as he can't help himself from starting the day by downing a bottle of liquor on a live stream and then going straight to being a burden to whatever society he's lucky enough to visit. But then you had him interrupting a nationally broadcasted concert and then disrespecting a statue for attention on the internet that represents this. Clearly, he wants to see how much he can get away with before he inevitably flees the country like the coward he is. But remember the statue, as it sadly becomes important later on. He then bought a fish and put it in a thin bag that's leaking fish juice everywhere and went back to public transportation to harass the public with his new prop. And this is where an altercation happened that ended up having the police follow him around. Here he lied to the police multiple times before he ended up being arrested. In my last video, I thought his stream had cut out, but that was because there was no public clips of his arrest, and him and his mod team essentially tried to scrub everything from the internet, but thankfully, the user Cancel Johnny's on Twitter managed to get them and was kind enough to send them over to me. So shout out to that man. So my first video.
So he wants to troll. He wants to cause a nuisance. He wants to make his fans laugh, whatever, because I'm assuming the TTS is part of the troll too. People send donations in wanting to cause disturbance wherever he's at, and he lets it ring out because it makes people laugh, it makes them uncomfortable, wherever it creates some drama for the stream. But then you're too pussy to let the streams live online. You take down all the clips and hide them. Why? Why are you hiding them for? Why are you hiding them for? Why are you hiding them, huh? What have you got to hide?
Video, I thought the stream cut when the police didn't let the taxi driver leave. But apparently what seems to have happened was the police didn't let the taxi driver leave, but didn't arrest Johnny, so he started walking away on foot. And this is where the police started following him in a similar fashion to what happened in Japan.
What I do? What do you want? Why you keep following me? What I do? I'm taking grocery. Grocery. My house. What do the police want? My grocery. My grocery.
He's such a cunt.
My grocery, my house.
He's such a cunt.
My grocery, mine.
I mean, no wonder they're not taking him seriously. That bag is leaking fish juice everywhere. There is no way he's bringing that home to cook, as it's been out in the heat for multiple hours at this point.
I don't think this guy knows who Chin Soo-yi is, does he? I don't think A-Tozy knows the culinary delights of Chin Soo-yi. He thinks there's not a man alive that would eat fish that's been rotting in the sun in a plastic bag, dripping all over the Seoul streets. Little does he know, there's a person called Chin Soo-yi who exists out there. And maybe Johnny Somali is one of Chin Soo-yi's disciples. Maybe Chin Soo-yi has written a fucking cookbook that we have no idea about. A secret cookbook that Chin Soo-yi wrote. Maybe we have no idea about it, and Johnny Somali bought it. Hence why he's in South Korea carrying rotten fish in a plastic bag and letting all the fish juices drip on the street as he heads home.
It's just a dumb prop for his stream.
What's the problem? My grocery bag. What y'all police mad for? I'm gonna go. I'm taking my groceries to my house. Sorry. Why are the police mad? I'm carrying a fish. Yo, chat, the police are chasing me all over the city. What is the problem me carrying my... I didn't take any public transportation. I took a taxi come here. What's the crime for carrying a fish?
I love how this dude puts on the same act that he's so innocent every single time, but at the same time, he live streams himself harassing and disrespecting everyone he can for his own content. He is his own worst enemy, but clearly this is exactly what he wants for his content. He wants all the drama of the police involved, but not the consequences.
What am I doing? Why are you recording me video? What is the problem? I'm going to my house grocery. Cooking Korean barbecue. Okay. What is the problem? What I do? I go? What I do? What is the problem?
And big up the Korean police as well, by the way, not engaging. Big up the Korean police, not engaging, just recording him from afar. Documenting all of his dumb behavior, not engaging. Okay, cool. It's complete silence. Not going to get involved in the back and forth. I bet some of them can even speak English, but they're just pretending they can't. Okay. No English. Just to avoid talking to him.
Dude makes a living off of live streaming other people without consent, but freaks out when the police start filming it. Also, why is he mocking them by talking to them in a broken English accent?
What is the problem? Korean barbecue. I go cook my house. I have a bag. No, it's my fish. I buy. What I do? Why I put my fish down? Is it a weapon? Down. I listen, police. Down. Why down? Down. I'm cooking.
Dude is literally the least likable person ever. Honestly, I wish he stuck to his word and actually ate that fish. But since they weren't arresting him yet, he decided to keep walking.
Bro, fish is not illegal in Korea. My grocery. I cook barbecue. Korean barbecue. Why are they chasing me?
I wonder what would happen if you threw it at the police officers. Like, here, catch. I wonder what would happen. Would he get arrested? Probably would, right? Essentially, rotten fish is basically a biological weapon.
Korean barbecue. I've been carrying a fish. What's the crime? It's a crime to yo chat. It's a crime to carry a fish. How is this a fucking crime?
Anybody, myself included, who says "Ayo chat" is a real piece of shit, innit? Anybody, myself included, who's screaming "Ayo chat, 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 chat," you know that person's a mug. You know that person's annoying. You know that person's a dick. It's like a dude who wears a beret or a dude that wears a thumb ring. 9 out of 10 times that guy's a wanker. 9 out of 10 times, myself included. No.
Why are the police following me for carrying a fish? It's not a crime. It's in a plastic bag.
Ugh. Dude, I mean, that is dripping everywhere. Bringing that inside a taxi or any public transportation should result in a cleaning fee. The police stop him again and keeps arguing with him, and I'm assuming that this back and forth is the police want to arrest him, as they likely have heard everything he's done on the stream, but they don't have enough evidence yet, as I'm assuming they've received hundreds of calls from citizens reporting him. So here they're likely using the bus and fish incident to make the original arrest.
What's the crime? What I do? Put it down. I cooking. Put the fish down. Listen. I'll put the fish down. The fish is again? The fish is I'm cooking my house. What's wrong with my fish? I'm cooking.
So
I'm a chef.
You put the fish to other people?
Never. Where's the proof?
Like some people sold it.
Where's the proof?
Okay, I never did nothing.
Right.
I'm bringing fish to my house to go cook.
Okay. You're just walking, carrying meat.
I'm trying to cook my ingredients to go cooking. I'm cooking, chef. Okay.
So they go back and forth for about 10 minutes until he yells to his mod to end the stream and delete the VOD so the police doesn't watch what he actually did.
Fab, end the VOD, delete the VOD. Fab, they make it, actually keep it live so we can prove to them. Fab, honestly, end the VOD, delete the VOD, Fab. At this point, Fab, end the VOD, delete the VOD, and we restart. They're lying.
So then it seems like the...
Do you think he's got a mental illness? I wonder if he's just like got some sort of like learning disability or mental illness. That's probably why he's kind of like this, and streaming has kind of exasperated the issues. I wonder if that's the case. Or maybe he's just a piece of shit. Who knows? Either way, Taz's out here doing what the Lord's work. I will put a link to this actually available for those of you who want to check it out in the descriptions down below if you want to check it. But the channel is Tazz. The title of the video is IRL Streamer is Destroying His Life in Korea, Arrested. Check it out. He does really good stuff. He kind of follows a lot of the Johnny Somali drama anyway. So if you want to keep abreast with that lunatic and what he's doing, check out Tazz, one of the best YouTubers out there. Check out Tazz. I was also thinking about this, and big up everybody out there. I actually got I was actually speaking to a couple of, who would have guessed it, female fans of the pod. Who would have guessed that? Absolutely wild. So big up everybody tuning in who doesn't identify as male. I'm absolutely shocked that you motherfuckers will listen to me. I always tend to think this particular pod is like very this pod is, description could be, I know I describe it as a #1 cultural commentary podcast in the world, but I think the alternative description could be the podcast that scares away the most hoes. You know, I think you put me on, if you want the hoes to run, if you want the hoes to clam up, if you want the ladies them to leave, right? To put on their jackets, to order their Ubers, you put me on. So to find out that there are women all around the world listening to me voluntarily, I thank you. I honestly do thank you. I don't know why you listen to me. I don't cater to you. I'm not very what's that thing called? Yeah, I don't cater to you. It's probably loads of other pods you could probably listen to that are probably more within your, you know, area of kind of needs and interests and stuff. So the fact that you ladies them give me a chance says a lot. It really does say a lot. So big up the ladies them out there who do tune into the flipping Tazs, who do tune into the Agostinho Zinga show. I appreciate you all. Also, I appreciate my man them. You know, my bread and butter is the man them. But if there's a couple of ladies in the chat, as Bill Burr would say, I appreciate you. Take a bow. Thank you for joining. Anyways, talking about ladies, a bit of a hard segue. Talking about ladies, a little bit of a brutal segue, so please forgive me for being incredibly crass and very insensitive. Look at this story. Gisèle Pelicot takes the stand in French mass rape trial. Yes, you heard that right. Mass rape. Mass rape. God almighty. So, Gisèle Pelicot, the French woman who was waived her anonymity in the mass rape trial of her ex-husband, who is accused of drugging and raping her and 50 other men, has taken the stand for the first time. Yes, you heard that correct. Yes, you heard that correct. This woman, this poor woman, this brave woman, this strong woman, for however many years, her husband was secretly drugging her, raping her, and then getting all these friends and strangers to rape her too. Over a number of years. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know the strength it takes for someone like this to come forward. Bravery and strength to her. So much so, even though her husband's a piece of shit and deserves to rot in prison and maybe worse, I think even her bravery and even her stand and the public outpouring of support and disgust against the husband made the husband decide to actually change his plea. I think at first he pled guilty. No, he pled not guilty, but then he changes to plead guilty, which I think kind of helped her as well in a trial and certain other things. I don't know. But I remember seeing her thinking, oh, wow. So even the husband has kind of had he's kind of had his conscience come to him. Obviously too late now, but still, the bravery of this woman is flipping incredible. So it continues. She told the court in Avignon that she wants women who've been raped to know that it's not for us to have shame. It is for them, which I agree with. It was, I want all women who have been raped to say, Madame Pelicot did it. I can too. I don't want them to be ashamed any longer. She said, referring to her request to open the trial and for the videos of the alleged rapes to be shown. So there's video footage of this. So the husband filmed some of these encounters, some of these assaults, some of this horrid, wretched stuff. God almighty. Gisèle, 72, was taking a stand following a request from her legal team that she be given a chance to respond to the evidence and testimony that have been shared so far at the trial. She said that over the last few weeks, she has witnessed various wives, mothers, sisters of the defendants take the stand and say that the accused were exceptional men. Only in France could a man rape a woman while she was drugged or asleep or whatever, and then have his female women relatives take the stand in their defense. Only in France. That country is wild, bro. That country is wild. Imagine you rape somebody and you get your sister or your mum to go on a stand and give you a character witness and be your character. What? Are you for real? Wow. That's just like who I had to. That's just like who I had back home, she said. But a rapist is not just someone who met in the dark car park late at night. He can also be found in family, among friends. She said that she is completely destroyed and will have to build herself back up again. I don't know if my whole life will be enough to understand. Addressing her former husband, Mr. Pelicot, Gisèle said, I wish I could still call him Dominique. We lived together for 50 years. I was a happy, fulfilled woman. You were a caring, attentive husband, and I never doubted you. We shared laughter and tears. Oh my God. So this isn't even one of those stories where the guy was always a monster at home abusing her. it sounds like he was a quote unquote perfect husband. But over the years, she started to realize weird things. I think that's how the story goes. I think she started to realize weird things about her body. Like, why was she feeling this? Why was she feeling that? And then I guess eventually she discovered that the husband was secretly drugging her. I'm assuming probably with like GHB or ketamine, something to take you out for fucking time. Or maybe just benzos, who knows? And it was kind of, you know, making her have like huge chunks of like, you know, black spots in her fucking time awake. Or like, oh, I don't know. I can't even think about it. It fucking makes me sick thinking about it. God almighty. Dominique has admitted to recruiting men online to rape his wife while she was under the effect of heavy sedatives and sleeping pills that he administered to her in secret for a decade. Gisèle said that she used to feel lucky that she had him by her side when she was suffering from health issues and was later revealed to be linked to the drugs he was giving her. Oh! So maybe they discovered it through the doctors. Maybe she was having like stomach pains or something. Or feeling queasy and nauseous. And then the doctors found out through tests that, have you been taking sleep? Like, and then, oh my, could you imagine that discovery in the hospitals? Or the GP? Could you imagine how they must have felt when they discovered that? Having to tell her that news. God almighty. I'm trying to understand how this man, who to me was perfect, could have done this. How could he have betrayed me at this point? How could you let these strangers into my bedroom? I want to say to him, I've always tried to lift you higher, towards the light. You chose the darkest depths of human nature. You're the one who made this choice. Oh, you're the one who made this choice. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. It reminds me a little bit of BTK, the serial killer. He was the one where he obviously killed a bunch of girls and shit. But allegedly at home, he was like a doting father. Like the proper, you know, archetypal girl dad. Like his family had no idea what he was getting up to at night. No idea what he was getting up to in secret. He showed no signs of violence, no signs of anything in the household. But when he went out, he would turn into the BTK. Most of the alleged rapes were filmed. The majority of the defendants deny raping Gisèle and argue that they cannot be guilty because they did not realize she was unconscious and therefore did not know they were raping her. Huh? That's a defense. Their defense was that it was some sort of consensual gangbang swinger thing. Wouldn't you have noticed during the act? Wouldn't you have noticed? Hold on. She's not even making any... What? Is she awake? Wouldn't you have noticed? You just stopped. To be fair though, to be fair. And I'm going to say this unequivocally. I'm going to say this unequivocally across the board. If you're a woman... and you know a dude who sometimes takes pleasure in hooking up with girls when they're sleeping, that guy's a monster. Whether or not that person is his girlfriend, wife, or partner and stuff, that's usually a sign of somebody that's a bit sick. It's the same with guys who like to take advantage of girls when they're drunk. If there's a guy out there that you've heard of who takes pleasure in hooking up with girls when they're sleeping, drunk, super high, not really all there, that guy is a psycho. That's a real psycho shit. Because most dudes, myself included, that's usually like a hard stop. Someone super fucked up, about to throw up and shit. Because I've heard of stories of guys fucking girls while they're like throwing up in bed and shit while they're drunk. Imagine that. That's a real psychopath that will do that sort of stuff. Who wouldn't stop, who wouldn't try and make sure the person's okay, get them a glass of water, order them a flipping Uber to go home by themselves safely. If that person continues carrying on, trying to pull this person in the corner of a dark club, all this sort of weird shit, that person's a psycho. Usually a sign of you are a real psycho. It's like when they say about serial killers stealing underwears and cutting stuff in flipping shops and stuff. That's not a good sign, bro. That's a sign of a real bad person. So, strength and solidarity goes out to Gisèle Pelicot. Absolutely incredible strength. Hopefully this story ends in some level of good and it will inspire women around the world to admit some of the... Because I'd imagine a lot of it has to do with shame as well. Even though you know what happened to you, you don't want to admit it because you feel like, as she said, it makes you feel like inherently it might be your fault. You did something wrong. Oh, I shouldn't have gone to the room. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have kissed him back. I shouldn't have walked down there. It's like, it's never your fault. It's never your fault. The monsters that do this type of thing are the ones that deserve all the punishment. So hopefully this Gisèle Pelicot story will, weirdly enough, I bet you this story also will open the eyes of a bunch of women who have maybe gone through the same things, currently going through the same things, which will get them maybe to be, it'll give them the strength and the courage to be brave and step up and kind of, you know, point the finger at somebody. Because you can imagine at that sort of age, pointing the finger willingly at your husband, knowing what that's going to do to you and your family and the community you live in, blah, 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 especially, you know, especially in really backwards societies or like provinces and small towns where people have really warped ways of thinking. Like even there, I'm assuming probably people in her village blame her for it and shit. It's going to be crazy. And you know, and obviously the destruction, because obviously it's destroyed her life, but her admitting what happened and you know, and basically bringing the people responsible to it to justice is going to destroy a whole bunch of other people's lives. Like hundreds of thousands of people's lives will be destroyed off the back of this, which is probably a good thing because the guy's a monster. But yeah, hopefully it gives everybody strength out there to continue and doing what needs to be done. So big strength and big love goes out to Gisèle Pelicot. Big strength and love goes out to her. Continuing on, I saw something in the stream chat. What was someone saying here? Big up the people in the stream chat. Oh, big up Lucas Sharing. Well gone to Lucas Sharing. Went to Berghain for the first time last week. Was such a better vibe than UK clubs. No overwhelming screens and lighting. More about the actual music and the people. That's actually a good point. You make that about the screen and lighting. I was talking earlier about the Moshaks club in Brazil, and I was really impressed by the lighting they had. They had this really cool lighting on the roof. That's, I guess, somewhere inside the logo, and it has like it's like a LED strip thing that changes and shit. But to be fair, there is probably too much of that in clubs in general, especially in the UK. There's too many lights, bells, and whistles. I'm assuming a lot of that has to do with like social media, because you want people to video record that sort of stuff, share it on their socials. It goes viral. It acts like marketing, and people would want to come down. So even though the clubs aren't open late, even though the bookings aren't too interesting, maybe if you keep getting the club out there as a sort of like spectacle to kind of get on your socials, people want to go and visit. So that could be a good thing. But obviously, like you said, it takes away from the actual experience of the club. And I think that's the same thing I realized when I was going to Berlin for a lot. Well, I was going to Berlin often. I would always come back on streams or talk on podcasts and stuff and complain about how shit the clubbing space here was. And obviously you can't really say that because Berlin in general is really unique. There's no other city like that in the world where they basically fund clubs. They have like a fund that allows clubs to install, to install like better sound dampening things to make sure there's no sound pollution for local neighbors and shit. They have some, like obviously Berghain is like a protected heritage site now at the moment, so effectively it can never close really in general, which is fucking amazing. They have all these things. Obviously the 24-hour side of it is really, really imperative and important. I feel like the UK would benefit a lot from it. We don't even have good clubs here, I feel like, apart from like Fold, Venue MOT, Colour Factory and shit. But I feel like if you allowed clubs to be open from Friday to Monday morning, I think you would improve the clubbing landscape tenfold. Like, because what would it end up doing, what you mentioned in Berlin, is that there's people spread out. As much as Berghain's amazing, people go to other clubs. There's Club Ost, there's Oxy, there's RSO, there's is it Paloma that I like? There's Same Heads. There's all these different clubs everywhere. So, and you know, Sisyphos, all of these places to go to. So you don't always have to go to Berghain. Trezor, blah, 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 Watergate, now it's going to close. But I feel like the 24-hour aspect is obviously what makes the clubs amazing. But with 24 hours and with it having so many clubs available, it spreads the crowds. So not everybody's bunched up in one area. And that obviously I feel like also helps with antisocial behavior, because, you know, if you have everybody in one club all spilling out into the streets at one time, it can get it fucked up. But the one thing you mentioned about the sound or you mentioned the vibe and the sound in general, that's something I realized when I went to Printworks for the first time. I went to Printworks for the first time, and I guess Printworks, for whatever reason, reminded me a lot of Berghain. Like just the building, right? The building, the factory, warehousey type of vibe about it. But then as soon as you walk into the main Printworks area, club space, it's nothing like Berghain. It's kind of a letdown. The sound is terrible. You have to get right to the front to really feel the sound. And I feel like it takes away from the experience, because the whole point of Printworks is that it's in a former printing factory, right? Where they used to print newspapers and shit. So it's like this long rectangular corridor. It's actually the scene featured in the Batman, where he's in the clubs, where he's in like the club space. There's like a scene where he's like fighting people in a club. I think he goes to Penguin's club and he's fighting people and it's red lit. That's actually filmed in Printworks, right? Not in New York, which is pretty cool. But that's how it's shaped. So you would imagine that sort of shape of a club. It would be really cool if the sound hit you as soon as you walk through the curtains. As soon as you popped into the main space, it just smashed you in the face. But it doesn't. You have to walk right to the front of the DJ booth to get that sound. It's like, what's the point? You know, it doesn't make any sense. So I feel like that obviously doesn't help. And then of course with that, the vibe is garbage, really. You know, a lot of our nights in London depend on the crowd. They depend on the promoter or the promotion. If it's not a cool club, if it's not a cool club night, you're gonna get a terrible crowd, which obviously affects your ability to have a good night. So it's a real shame, really. But the good thing is that these places exist and you can go there relatively cheap. I'm next going to Open Ground in Wurpatal. I'm actually going to go there in the middle of November to go and see. Oh, I'm actually planning to go see DBS 1 is 50%. But I'm 100% going to go see Freddie K at the end of the month on the 29th. So I'll be in Wurpatal, Germany on the 29th of November to see Freddie K play at that new club called Open Ground I've been speaking about and here a lot. So that should be fun and maybe in the middle. So I want to see what that is saying too, so to get like a better idea. Because I also want to go to, I think there's other club, it's called Blitz. I think that might be in Munich, and check it out and see what the deal is. But I'm assuming they're all going to be great, because I remember going to Robert Johnson in Frankfurt and that was fucking sick. So it's a shame that clubs are the way they are, but anyway, what can you do? What can you do in the UK? So big up Lucas sharing. Glad you had a good time. Glad you had a good time. Let's move on. So I spoke a lot about this girl in the last podcast, and we have to speak about her again because I found her truly, truly, truly fascinating. And there's another article here on Daily Mail, which I actually missed, that speaks a little bit about her and as a person, and maybe you can learn a bit more about the business and how she makes this, you know, living that she does. And if you're wondering who it is, yes, it's Bonnie Blue, the lady who slept with over 30 men, it says here, but I think now it's 100 or whatever. It's flipping loads. So this is an article that kind of speaks about the things that she does, but let's watch the videos because it's better to get an idea of what she's about via the video. So this is Bonnie Blue sharing her location online and waiting for men to turn up so she can sleep with them. Let's see what Bonnie Blue has to say about this.
On 2 of the days, I shared my location online. I said, look, this is where I'm going to be, queue, and I'll see as many of you as I can. And I went one after the other. One of the days I started at 4 p.m. and finished at 6 a.m.
I recently filmed for Bonnie. I was doing the interviews. I can now confirm that they do queue up outside, like 30 of them.
I just don't get how guys could do that.
Some of them, bless them, had been waiting like over 8 hours by the time they got to sleep with me.
They would queue up a group of 30 of them. Are you not ever like worried that, you know, you're going to get the wrong kind of guy?
Yeah, 100%. But like my main goal was to pleasure. I'd say the worst experience, and I've been very lucky, has just been my phone got robbed. So I did a with 23 guys. Afterwards, like you can imagine the state of the room, like everything was everywhere. There was condoms, liquids, fluids everywhere. And I noticed my phone had gone, but at this point I was like, oh, it's probably just under a pack of condoms somewhere. But shortly afterwards, I'd realized it had been taken. And then I was getting blackmailed to say, if you don't pay us money, we're going to release the content on your phone. Like you need to come and get it. And then even you got threatened to say they're going to come take your watch, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yo. The crazy thing is, we all know though, innit? We all know that to be true. Right? We all know that to be true, just based on like regular girls that we know. We know regular girls that we all know who are mildly attractive, or girls that we're maybe interested in. If they were to put out an open call, like not even fucking, just say, hey, I'm at this location. The first 50 guys that come here can take me out on a date. We know they'd get 50 guys, maybe even more, to turn up. So it's a very specific thing for women only. But the fucking thing in being on camera and having over 100 guys turn up, some of them waiting 8 hours to smash. They're waiting to smash her like she's a Supreme drop, right? This is like back in the day, Supreme drops, limited edition Nike drops. They're queuing outside. She gets smashed. It's fucking ridiculous. But then the really funny thing about it is the cameraman, the filmer. Bless his heart. Imagine the things that he's seen. Imagine the things that her cameraman has seen. The depravity. Imagine the depravity that the cameraman has seen. I'd imagine it probably changes his entire idea, worldview of relationships and sex in general. It probably makes him a little bit more, I'd say, less thirsty, seeing the types of men that are doing this sort of stuff and seeing you know, socioeconomic level, like, you know, the kind of the variety, because I think that'll be the really interesting part of it. See the variety of men, because London is a multicultural city and shit, come from all walks of life, and probably dudes that he probably thinks like would never do this type of thing, like good looking dudes that look successful, coming and doing this thing. He's probably like, rah, Ted. And then it changes the way you see yourself. You're like, you know what? I'm never gonna be thirsty again. I'm never gonna do too much. I'm gonna fucking relax. Because I don't know. Or maybe you just treat it as a job. You just turn your camera on and keep it moving. You put a podcast on. You just zoom in, you zoom out, and then when it's done, you keep it moving. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it desensitizes you. Maybe you don't really feel it. Maybe it's not a thing. You don't really care anymore. You hand her a glass of water, a wet towel. You stay outside. When she's finished, you come back in. Like, you know what I mean? It's just another job. Clock in, clock out. God almighty, mate. Absolutely God almighty. And then there's one more video I want to show you here before I read the article. We used to go to war. Now we're doing post-conferences after hitting. Let's play this one.
And what about to all your family members that are queuing out there?
Hi.
Family members.
Who's going first then?
Me.
You're going first.
Do you want to spend 2 minutes with me alone or double it and pass it to the next person? So do you want to be nice to your family and give them longer with me, or are you going to be selfish and do 2 minutes?
Selfish.
You're selfish?
Yeah.
And what would you do to me in 2 minutes? Tell me. Are you going to do...
Cringe! I'm gonna destroy you. Men, what are you doing? Somebody think about the men. Jordan Peterson voice. Men, what are you doing, men? Oh, you're making us look terrible, men. Oh my God. What are you gonna do to me then? I'm gonna destroy you. Oh my God. I'm cringing. I wish I could die right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Destroy me? I think we should put it to the test. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you have your ID with you?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go!
Let me get my keys.
Oh my God, the bop bops outside. The bop bops outside. Oh, they think Skepta is MCing, mate. They're bopping outside like Skepta and DWE are spitting. Ah!
Would you recommend me to a friend?
100 million%.
And what about to all your family members that are queuing out there?
Everybody, it's worth it.
Yeah?
It's worth the wait. You're extremely worth the wait. You're sexy as well.
His voice, bro. She took his soul. You're sexy as well. You're sexy. She took his soul, bro. She took his soul. Oh my God, exactly, Charles. We're down bad, so bad. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Did you manage to destroy me though in those 2 minutes?
Not in the 2 minutes, but if I had longer with you, you get destroyed.
Exactly. He's going to come back and go again.
100%.
Thank you.
Yo, big up the Garcia vlogs. This other girl, Lillian Phillips, does that too. This other girl, you know her name. You said her first and surname. Get out of here, the Garcia vlogs. This other girl, Lillian, you know her full government, man. You know her full government. URL included. Get out of here, this other girl. Don't play shy around here, man. We're all grown-ups. Jordan Ray, where's this bid location? Big up Fashion Roadman, what's good, my G? It's fascinating to see how we see each other in society. If a guy did it, someone is calling the police. I don't think you could get a guy that could get this man of girls to do this, though. That's the thing. she's saying in interviews there's like hundreds of guys that come to meet her. Hundreds of guys. I don't think there's a guy who could get that amount of women. I just think women are a little bit. I think women, unlike guys, are a bit more shy about this sort of thing in public. Yeah, they get up to madness behind the scenes or behind closed doors, but I don't think they'd be willing to do the whole filming thing. I don't think so. I don't think you could get 100 girls that'll be willing to smash some hot dude, like this on camera. I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so. That would be the only problem. Could you get if there was no cameras at all? Could it happen? Possibly, but I just think women just have it's just a different level. That kind of the first that exists within. The only way I could see this happening is with gay guys, because gay guys are generally a lot more promiscuous anyway. But I could see gay guys queuing up, like, do you know what I mean? But they probably do it every weekend anyway, queuing up by the hundreds to go, to get smashed or to go smash some dude. I could see that happening, but wow. Bro got a shape up before the smash. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he saw the shape up. He saw the fade, innit? He saw the fade. You know that he saw the fade. Too skinny for me, says Charles Lucas. Fair enough. At least he's first. Yeah, true. You have to wake up. I would be scared to have sex with anyone that had a sexual partner because to be scared of STDs. Condoms aren't safe. What if it rips? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think I could get excited in that kind of environment. It's just too much. There's too much stimuli, too much things going on. The filming, the guys outside waiting. It's just too much. I couldn't do it. I don't think I could get, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe you have to be a lad, because all the lads out there going, pop, 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 pop. Maybe if you're like an Ibiza, Marbella, Dubai guy, you're already used to this kind of group activities anyway. Because, that's what you do. You go out there to go secure the whores. And maybe the whores out there are they like that sort of group activity. But for me, I couldn't do it, man. It's just too much. I couldn't do it. Yeah, big up Charles Lucas. Even Harry Styles will struggle. Honestly, I swear to God, I think try to think, let's say a conventionally attractive dude. Like, think of a Chris Brown. I think there are 100 girls in the UK easily that would love to smash Chris Brown. But they're not going to do it on camera. That's the difference. Would 100 girls come out to smash Chris Brown? I don't think so. On camera, I don't think so. I think guys just have like zero morals, zero shame. We're just pure and utter heathen. We're just pure and utter heathens for pleasure. I honestly, that's it. I only think only guys could do this. Could kind of have this type of lack of shame. Whatever. Maybe it's not shame. Maybe they just enjoy themselves. Who knows? Let's read the article. So it says here, an adult star who slept with over 100 university students and 3 granddads during the weekend says that parents should be thanking her. Bonnie Blue, she's 25 years old. Really? That woman is 25. God damn. Don't get me, she doesn't look older, but she doesn't look 25. I think she was like maybe early 30s. She's 25 years old. Shit. Fair play, I guess. The adult content creator, who is originally from Nottingham but lives in the Gold Coast of Australia, told female parents should be thanking me. I'm helping their children out. When I'm sleeping with them, it's educational and they walk away with such confidence. Incredibly, Bonnie's own parents are supportive of her adventures. My mum went around the day before after Freshers started handing out flyers and condoms to students and said go and bonk my daughter. Well, yeah, I don't blame the mum, because that's your daughter, innit? You want to make sure she's safe. I completely understand why the mum's doing that. If you're gonna do it anyway, I might as well give you a whole pack of condoms so you don't go crazy and do some nonsense, innit? University students, bonk me and let me film it. Jesus Christ, bro. Yo, big up Nottingham though. Big up Nottingham. Let's continue. You see, there's a mum making the flyer. The apple don't fall far from the tree, probably. I bet the husband's looking at her like, giving her the side eye while she's filming, while she's coloring in the little poster thing. Oh Jesus! My dad's got my business card in the back of his phone case. He takes us to the pub with his friends. They found out my career by video being leaked. They said they wouldn't have chosen this for me, but as long as you're happy, they see how happy I am and how much freedom I get financially. Now they love it. My mum wears a top with OnlyFans. My dad always tells people about it. That's the thing about parents, isn't it? Parents are pretty shameless like that too. If you make money, and you give them some money, regardless of what you do, they could probably turn a blind eye. You could be a literal hitman. You could be a hitman with bodies with bodies in the high 3 digits. The high 3 digits. And your parents will turn a blind eye because you're giving them a couple of grand a month. You know? That's the thing. You could win your parents' love. Like, that's the thing I think I realized later on in my life, like, you know, growing up in an African family. You tell your, like, one thing you should never tell your parents when you grow up in an African family is your dreams, your creative dreams, right? If you want to explore, if you want to explore a career outside of the conventional sort of like, you know, subjects that African parents want, don't tell your parents about it. Just keep it to yourself and do it. Because once you're successful, they're going to agree. But if you tell them while you're struggling, like while you're trying to intern and shit, they're going to say no, or they're going to be very against what you're doing. So just don't tell them. Just keep doing what you're doing. And then once it starts to make money and they start to see you're driving a nice car, or you live in a nice place, or you look like you get your haircuts on a regular, or some, whatever version of wealth they see, they'll suddenly be okay with what you're doing. So yeah, it continues. For the past month, she posted on social media where she has more than 258,000 followers on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, encouraging new students to film sexual content on OnlyFans. To be fair, that's not enough, innit? She should have way more followers than that. She has 260,000 followers across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. I wonder why she doesn't have more followers than that. Maybe she doesn't make enough content. Or maybe because it's all sex stuff. But she should have way more followers than that, given the content she makes. She hopes to earn around 500,000 from the videos and requested virgins. Wow. So she might be making like a half a mil a month on OnlyFans. God damn. After receiving over 5,000 messages, she revealed her location, saying it was first come, first served, leading to queues around outside her room. I gave everyone a time slot. It's like going for your hair. I said you can do whatever you want to me in this slot, then someone else is coming in. I wonder if she's able to break it down by demographics. I wonder if we should get that kind of data. Like, black guys usually do this, white guys usually do this, Asian guys usually do... I wonder if she can break it down by demographic or maybe age. That'll be funny. That'll be funny to hear. I would like to see that data. I'm not gonna lie. Jesus Christ. It continues. Some people take longer because even though I've got a lot of experience in the bedroom, they're so nervous. On the first day, people were given an hour slot, but this was later reduced to 20 minutes due to demand. She continued her sex sessions for a second consecutive weekend, targeting students across Nottingham. Term started. She was joined by adult film star Lily Phillips. Big up the Garcia vlogs. He knows her. Lily Phillips, who was more than 560,000 followers on Instagram and TikTok. One of the first weekends, she slept with 73 people. The next weekend, she followed it up with 37, including 23 men without a break. She had 4 partners on Saturday before taking Sunday off to recover. She claims her sex marathons are to dispel myths produced by porn. If you're a virgin or new to sex, there's nothing for you. You watch porn stars with massive penises and bodies, and average person is not like that. It's not helping them. When you watch a movie, if you can relate to that person, you can connect a lot better. What? What's this girl waffling about? What's this girl waffling about? What? Hold on, let's read that again. What the fuck's she talking about? If you're a virgin or new to sex, there's nothing for you. You watch porn stars with massive penises and bodies, and the average person is not like that. It's not helping them. When you watch a movie, if you can relate to the person, you can connect with them a lot better. So I thought there's no better way for me to make content than to have sex with virgins or groups of new friends or just the average day person. I guess. Bonnie first went viral after filming X-rated content with Australian school leavers last year. She was criticized for sleeping with 22 American college students in one night during a spring break in Cancun, Mexico. In March, but broke her record by bedding 37 people on Friday, while she slept with 30 men on the previous Saturday. The boys in the UK have been a bit more stiff. I don't know if they're more nervous. I told you, we live in a puritanical country, man. Catholicism runs rampant. A lot of those guys are banging her with mad guilt and regret. They can't let loose. Responding to accusations of predatory behavior by targeting young men, she said, if people want to think that an 18-year-old doesn't want to sleep with a porn star, then they really got to get out under their rock. When 18-year-olds are having sex, it's usually unprotected, and it's never that good of an experience because the girls are inexperienced too. I have a video of them, and they clearly are enjoying it. Bonnie checks her partner's IDs to confirm they're 18, and they must sign a form consenting to be filmed, and they must also wear a condom. There is no set person. As an 18-year-old, some people are confident, shy, some are insecure. Yet you get some who say, come on, Bonnie, I'm going to show you a good time. And then you have others who are holding their IDs up and shaking and are nervous. Not only students are involved. After the first person, I went downstairs thinking I'd go to a city centre to find people, and there was a queue of hundreds of people waiting. It was mostly students, but there was a group of granddads. The oldest was 71. One was retired. He heard about me from his grandson. Oh, they have to be Mundeles. 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 Granddad and grandson discussing. Oh, yeah. They have to be Mundeles. Have to be. Have to be. God almighty. The people who turn up might look weird or be weird to some people, but I'm happy to pleasure anyone. There's been no bad boys so far. Bonnie wants to visit Manchester or London for Freshers Week next year. 100% I will. Or the numbers will be through the roof. Considering how she's going now and the media run she's been getting and the promotion, if this girl goes to Manchester and London, the numbers will be through the roof. The numbers might hit the 3 digits. I'm sorry, 4 digits. Like, even 4. Let's say 4. We might get 4 digit. We might get thousands. I swear to God. If she comes to London. But just one place because I don't want to waste time traveling, as that's morning without students. I try to get as many people in as possible in a short time to say thank you because it has changed my life and my family's. Merde. And what can you say? I guess, hey man, whatever works for people, I guess in some respects. Maybe that actually says maybe there is a sexual education component about it. These guys are getting to smash somebody who technically is a professional within their field. It might make them better partners for people later down the line, right? Who knows in that regard. It might also make them practice stuff like safe sex, because if someone like that is getting you to use a condom, it might make you more likely to use one. I don't think so personally, right? The whole point of going to a fucking university is to, you know, graduate and get a degree and also potentially catch those STDs. So I don't think a lot of guys are going to really take that lesson to heed or, you know, use it and whatever. But, you know, more power to the girl. More power to the girl. Like I said, I just find it funny because people love to talk how they're pro sex work, but then when they see what actual sex work is, like, this is the reality of it, really reality of it, especially if you think of girls who like work in brothels or are prostitutes or work as higher class escorts. This is the type of numbers they're putting up. What do you think? You know what I mean? This is the type of numbers they're putting up, especially if they're good at what they do, especially if they're attractive. Their numbers are getting passed around, they're getting recommended. Like, these are numbers that they're putting up. So more power to her, more power to the people involved. If they're happy and they're safe doing what they're doing, what can we do? Absolutely nada. So more power to these people. More power to these people. What else can you say? Can't really say nothing. Is Corn good? Do you guys give a good performance? Is the Corn? I don't know. I've never watched it. I'm proud to say I've never ever subscribed to OnlyFans. I'm not really. It's not because I'm against porn or anything. I just refuse to subscribe to many fucking services, especially subscription things. I'm just not going to do it. I refuse. So I've never actually subscribed to one, so I don't know what that content looks like. So I have no idea. But I assume it's just whatever she puts on her social. I'm assuming it's just a variation of that. It's a guy filming her fucking loads of dudes, isn't it? So I don't know. If you get pleasure out of that, then fair play, enjoy it. But I don't know how much you can get from that sort of stuff. Don't prostitutes sleep with regular men? Probably 37 or more. Exactly, yeah. Big up Shades Guy, exactly. I think prostitutes put up the same numbers, if not more. Especially if they're good at what they do. Think about it. I'd imagine if they're good, like any service, if they're good at what they do, they get recommended to a bunch of people. So I honestly do think it's fairly, you know, it's conservative to say 37. Conservative. And I said before in the previous stream, I think regular people also lie about their numbers. You know, that's the first lie you ever tell a new partner or somebody that you're dating. That's the first lie we all tell. How many people you slept with? You always underplay it, or you always overplay it to make yourself look better. I know I do anyway. You know, if a question ever comes up. Big up Fashion Roadman. What shocks me is the lack of consideration around the potential of her getting life-changing STIs. Yeah, I guess she just thinks condoms are like bulletproof. I guess so. I guess there's no understanding or idea that it could, because eventually this will get dark. She mentioned already, oh, nothing bad's happened, only my phones get stolen. Eventually, this will get dark, innit? It's just, we all know this, isn't it? This is the nature of that business, nature of that area. It brings out the worst in people, or it brings out the worst type of people you'd imagine to, you know, potentially to cross paths. So it will get dark eventually, which is sad. But considering that she's doing it, I think with a clean heart, if that makes sense. But yeah, the STI, the lack of STI, STD conversation is funny. I guess condoms are bulletproof. I guess they're foolproof, right? You can't get any STDs with a condom. Cool. Does she consider us her future? I'm surprised that this kind of solicitation is allowed on college campuses. I guess they can't technically do anything because she's outside of the college campus in public, I guess, sometime, maybe, I guess. Because I think the laws about I think in the UK it's different. I think, like, by law, you're only really allowed to tell people to, like, if they're blocking the path that's going into your place of business. But I don't even think by law you own the road that your street. No, you own the bit of road in front of where your shop is. I think that is owned by somebody else or owned by the taxpayer or something. I think it's something weird like that. I remember that being a big thing. So most likely she doesn't have a leg to stand on anyway. Even if they did want to say something, I don't think they could. So it makes a lot of sense why they're not actually banging on about that sort of thing. But let me quickly get my charger for my laptop before I continue. But yeah, what a mad situation. Absolutely mad situation. What can you say? What can you say? What can you say? We have to just see how this shit plays out, I guess, isn't it? For this young lady, she's on a mad one. She's on an absolute mad one, mate. She's on an absolute mad one. But I guess if she's making money and having a good time, what can we do about it? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nada. So big up her. Big up her. Cool. Moving on. Let's also talk a little bit about this regarding the unfortunate passing of Liam Payne. ABC News did a little feature on the pink cocaine that was found in his body due to the toxicology report. So pink cocaine has now become a new trending term. Obviously, some of us have probably heard about it through our partying ways. Some of us may have heard about it because of Diddy. But now I guess more people are becoming aware of what pink cocaine is due to Liam Payne's unfortunate passing in Argentina. So this is a segment courtesy of ABC News.
Has found former One Direction singer Liam Payne had several substances, including pink cocaine, in his system when he fell to his death in his hotel in Argentina. So what is pink cocaine? Thank you again for joining us here on ABC 7.
What is that stuff? What is that
I'm
stuff,
Colleen
man?
Sullivan in for David Ono.
I'm Ellen Leyva. Pink cocaine has also been mentioned in one of the civil lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs. So what exactly is pink cocaine?
Eyewitness News reporter Leticia Lada spoke to law enforcement and public health officials to find out what the drug is and what it does to the body.
Having no regrets. A partial autopsy revealed former One Direction singer Liam Payne had multiple substances in his system when he plunged to his death from a third-floor balcony in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Toxicology results show he had a mix of drugs, including one called pink cocaine.
The first piece that we almost always see in pink or pink cocaine is ketamine, a dissociative drug, something that makes people feel like they're detached from reality. The second component is a psychedelic.
Bill Bodner is a former DEA agent.
Look at him
he says
snitching.
despite its name, oftentimes there is no cocaine in the toxic mix of drugs, which includes synthetics like ecstasy, methamphetamine, and benzodiazepines. The drug, also known as 2C, acts as both a stimulant and a depressant.
They say it's really popular in Miami as well, by the way. It's popular here. No, it's not popular in the UK. It's more popular in mainland Europe, really. I think I've heard people taking it more in Europe than I have done taking it here in the UK. But I've heard in places like Miami and shit, it's really popular, and obviously South America.
Very, very cheap to make. And they can kind of tailor the drug to what the drug user is looking for, the perceived effects that the drug user is looking for.
Pink cocaine got its start in Latin American nightclubs as a party drug. Recently, it was linked to Sean Diddy Combs in a lawsuit filed by his former music producer, Rodney Jones. He alleges it was required all employees, from the butler, the chef to the housekeepers, to walk around with a pouch or fanny pack filled with cocaine, GHB, ecstasy, marijuana gummies, and 2C, a pink drug that is a combination of ecstasy and cocaine.
That is a vibe, isn't it? Imagine you popping into fucking Diddy's crib to just, like, I don't know, sign some documents, check over some branding stuff, marketing stuff, and it's just these nice, lovely Guatemalan women who are like, they may look like maids or they may look like cleaners or childminders with fucking silver platters, these Hermes plates of pink cocaine, and kids running around. Like, it must be such a mind trip. Like, you're like, oh my god, this guy's a fucking psycho. There's kids around and there's people just with trays carrying them around, sniffing all over the place. Like, God almighty, absolute freak ball.
But like any drug, there are several dangerous side effects on the body and the user's perception of reality.
One of the things around mixtures such as this is people's behavior might become unpredictable and they might do things that they wouldn't have otherwise done.
The drug is also a possible factor in Payne's behavior in the minutes leading up to the 31-year-old.
Has found
Okay, cool. There we go. So, yeah, really, really sad, to be fair. You know, with how it kind of played out for him. You could imagine, you know, he was just trying to have a good time, and unfortunately he did too much, like the definition of doing too much, and it kind of went a bit crazy. The funny thing is, I remember, I don't think they mentioned it here, but from what I remember in Europe, when I went to Berlin, I remember a lot of people were saying that the pink cocaine over there was mixed with 3-MMC or 4-MMC, basically methadone. So it's basically a mix of methadone, ketamine, and MDMA or something like that. That was kind of what they were doing out there. So they had legitimately no cocaine in it, but the idea of it was just obviously to put, you know, coloring in it to make it, give it that pink color. But if I'm not mistaken, the idea behind it kind of comes from the thinking that people sometimes enjoy doing cocaine and ketamine together. That sort of like upper and downer thing. I think they call it like Calvin and Klein, right? So I think that basically is where it kind of comes from. But I guess with all drugs and with all addicts, it's never enough just to do that thing. You have to do more. So you push it, you start adding more shit to it. I remember that Vice video was really unsettling because I think the dealer that was making it was literally putting everything. Like, it almost seemed like the dealers in South America kind of like, you know, because I guess you can't really sell drugs there really high or expensive because it comes straight from the source. So there's only a, you know, you can only get a certain amount of profit. So you're trying to look for the next angle, the next thing to kind of, you know, hype up the market and get your customers hyped to whatever. So he was literally just sitting in his house, in his trap, just pouring whatever he had left in a bowl. That was a mad thing. I was like, Jesus Christos, like anything and everything. So it's obviously open to cross-contamination. Like people mentioned in the stream chat, you're opening to maybe, you know, getting dosed with fucking fentanyl and shit. It can get really dicey and really scary really quickly. So the people that do it, you have to be aware of that danger. Obviously, you're rolling the dice in that regard because you literally have no idea what's in it. Someone could tell you what they think is in it, but you'd have no idea unless you're the one that made it yourself. But regardless, man, it sent Liam Payne down a weird path to the point where people are saying that he might have been like, that's the thing that's really scary. They're saying that he might have been unconscious when he fell from that balcony. The really scary thing when you saw the video, the balcony was very low. It's kind of standard South American, non-Western kind of building regulations. The barrier on the balcony of his window was super low. I'm gonna say it might have been like waist height. So the type of balcony that, you know, you could easily fall over even if you weren't fucked up, just because of how low it is. I don't think you could ever get that sort of thing in like a Western hotel. Do you know what I mean? They would never let you have that sort of thing. So he was always going to be in danger, and probably even more so if he was drunk or high and shit. So RIP to Liam Payne, same way. But now pink cocaine is becoming super popular. So don't be surprised if you hear your local dealer talking about it now, because it's been popularized all over the place. And we know one thing: dealers are very aware of the current trends in the markets and how people are talking and things are shifting. So it wouldn't surprise me if suddenly people start selling, you know, the pink cocaine that killed Liam Payne and shit out on the market and going crazy over that, which is crazy to say. I know it's crazy to say that, but don't be surprised if you do see it. Don't be surprised if you do see it. Moving on. We have to talk a little bit about DJ AG. I've mentioned it previously on my stream, how I'm really, really, really on getting a all-in-one DJ controller for the sole purposes of playing outside in the streets and basically allowing myself to play more sets, because unfortunately the clubs and bar gigs for me have completely dried up, and I'm also too proud and too egotistical to email clubs and ask them for sets and gigs and shit. And I'm also aware that most likely I'm one of 1 million people who probably hasn't had gigs in a while, so everybody's asking. So the likelihood of me getting a gig in a club, not gonna happen. So I'd rather take it into my own hands and go and do what I love to do, which is play for the people. And what better way than going and playing outside? And I was thinking of doing this for a while. I was thinking of doing this during the pandemic. I was thinking of getting a controller and going and doing it, but you know, shyness and just awkwardness in general didn't make me bite the bullet. And I had to buy a new controller because I've got a controller now at the moment, but it's one of those, like, you know, at home ones. It's like I think it's like an SSB something, which you plug into a laptop, and your laptop has a DJ software which you then play into this controller and you mix. But there's these other controllers which are called XDJs from Pioneer or Alpha Veta. There's a new one which I'm probably going to get. It's the XDJ AZ, which is an all-in-one unit, which kind of replicates what you'd have in a club, where you just plug in a USB stick and you can play straight away. So all you need is a powered speaker or some sort of generator and you can play, which is what I want to do going forward. But this guy called DJ AG is already doing this now at the moment. He's fucking killing it. He's going to different locations in London and playing sets. I think primarily he was doing them in Brixton. Now he's going all around London and, you know, playing sets, having people rock up and MC on the mic, which is the standard kind of UK thing here from the garage, grime, jungle days and shit. He's pulling up and people are doing that, which is really cool because, you know, there's local legends pulling up who've kind of long retired, who can still spit bars, who are pulling up and making, you know, and making it into a spectacle. And he did it recently, just the other day, and it featured the one and only JME and Skepta. Imagine that. So JME and Skepta pulled up to a recent DJ AG stream, which I'm going to play here, and it definitely inspired me to be like, you know what, I need to pull the trigger and do my own little flipping house and techno sets as well in the streets and connect with the people them out there. You get me? So big up DJ AG for doing the Lord's work and inspiring people like myself. Let's go.
Quidditch, what? Brush my teeth, choose an outfit, big racks in my account, I get paid. Every day smoke the loudest, I get packed in by the ounce, I just blaze. Jeez. And I got things from back in the day still ringing me down, I'm on stage. I want no stress, they're trying to control S coming around to get saved. I don't want a war, let's make peace. Good energies make the stacks increase. Girls from the north, west, south and the east. Big Betty make the man them say cheese, please. I'm not a gentleman, I'm an African man is what I said to the priest. And you know I stay smoking trees and the buds in the zip pack looking obese. Yeah. Flew back, then flew in. My mum knew.
By the way, if you can tell by the camera, so it's really cool. He's set up. He's got his DJ controller. He also has a phone in front of him, recording him and the person behind him emceeing. But then there's also another angle with another phone that's recording the crowd. That's obviously on TikTok. I think he streams it on TikTok, which is pretty cool. So you see the crowd like looking at them from the front, and you also see the image of them from the back. So you see, you know, the background in London. You see people walking around and shit. It's fucking sick. This is just out in the streets, out there in the streets with the people them. And I think I saw another angle. So he's got like a massive generator. I think he probably rocks up with his car. I'll probably have to do it going in my, you know, going in an Uber or something. I probably will just have a generator that you could just power the speaker for a certain amount of time. But he's got a massive generator on wheels that he takes with him. So I'm assuming he takes that in his car, and he's got like a tray, like one of those trays that you'd go if you're taking lunch in somewhere, and he puts his DJ controller there too. So it's pretty sick.
What I was doing, and deep down I know she was screwing. I fell asleep with 13 scores in my mouth. Had a dream about chicken and chips like an idiot. I started chewing. I woke up then I started stewing, thinking when is all this gonna end? Had to open them up and wrap them again. I've been on the road, so if the beat needs road bars and stuff, I'll strap them again. All the man them know man are certified. They can't school man, I've been there. Yeah, that's why when you walk in the dances where all the bad boys go to, we're in there.
Oh please, I couldn't care about your T's and C's. I'm J to the M to the E, make GRIM to the E. Make man bop your head to the B, from the SW to the N to the E. Bear M to the C, sport they can swim with the sharks till they enter the sea. Blue cool, big up N to the G, put CD to the E to the E. Show bear love like I to the E. Been like this from an N to the scene. Yeah, grime, I rep to the T. 140, I kept to the B. If you want a bad boy grime remix, then just give me or Skep to the P. Save, yo, you hype too much, but I don't see you fight too much. That's why you're not like too much. You've been snorting the whack too much. You man swear on your life too much. Careful or you might die too much. Bare MCs just lie too much. If not, then they say like too much. Easy peasy similes used frequently really gets on my nerve. Reason Jamie's lyrically sick recently. I don't pet with my word. Beef me really. You're chatting all streetsy, but you don't step on the curb. These fake greasy MCs come against me, but see man rep for the nerd.
Honestly,
yeah.
Big up DJ AG.
Running it.
AG.
Honestly, what a vibe, man. This is what it is. This is what it's about with the people them. With the people them. They don't let us play in clubs. I said before, there's some weird law in London where if you try and have MCs or rappers perform at your club night or in a bar, you have to have another special license. some rappers, some MCs aren't able to perform in bars, or they have to get cleared by the police, which then puts more of a stranglehold on what clubs can promote and shit, because they make you run, you know, jump through hoops or all this red tape and malarkey, so it kind of puts people off and shit. And some clubs will just flat out refuse because they don't want black crowds to go there, but they're okay with fucking mundeles sniffing whatever on the dance floor, but they won't let the niggas in the dance kind of, you know, do gun fingers and go a bit crazy. Absolutely nonsense. So there's a lot of racial discrimination, a lot of nonsense. You know, obviously the hundreds of thousands of clubs are closing all across the UK. Amy Lammy, the night czar, did absolutely nothing to stop that. Sadiq Khan is doing nothing to stop that. So, you know, we're in a bad situation now, but I love how we're trying to, you know, we're basically trying to make lemons out. We're basically trying to make lemonade out of lemons. We're not taking it lying down. We're gathering our resources, hustling, DIY aesthetic, pirate radio type of days. It kind of feels like as well, on top of fucking, you know, flat blocks and stuff in the ends and shit. So I love it to seeing it. So I'm going to take this same idea and do it in my way, which playing, you know, some of the stuff that I like to play, which is, you know, mostly house and techno and shit, and playing in the street somewhere, which I'll probably end up doing incognito. I probably won't end up filming it straight away. And then, you know, if that ends up going viral or doing the thing, then obviously pick up from there. But it'll be nice to see people just discover me for the sake of discovering it, and just give people a nice little, you know, gives people something nice to listen to in the background while they're waiting for their friends outside somewhere, passing by, wherever it may be. So it's going to be a bit of a vibe. So big up DJ AG. Fucking love to see it. Fucking love to see it. Especially considering how big, you know, of an artist Skepta and JME are as people separately. For them to come down and do this sort of thing just goes to show, you know, the kind of impact this guy's having. And then we've got another clip here that features Krept and Konan, I think, as well, doing the same thing too. I have to be honest, it's just Konan. I got to be honest, I'm not the biggest Konan fan. Not the biggest fan, honestly. I think, you know, as much as I love them as a duo, I think in general, I think they're kind of overrated. Maybe I'm in my minority, but I think they're kind of overrated. I'm not gonna lie.
They only talk like that because I ain't about. That's how the iron inside. They was trying to iron it out. Cowards. I told Cosmic Booker I'm flying a route. Look at the bunda, Timon and Pumbaa, Kuna Matata, go lie on the couch. I'm in business class, Wi-Fi in the lounge. She told me come to the States, but I ain't allowed. No, I can't go back to jail or lie in the ground. So the tab's on me, you know what I mean, I'm buying around. Broke boys in the feelings again, bro went round there, he was visiting them. I'm too rich to be talking about drillers again. I'm on a Zoom call, talk about millions again. 5 grand for the table, minimum spend, 4 beds in a 6. I don't live in the ends, 3 femmes, cause he still got a minimum 10. 2 AM in a Benz, and she bringing a friend. She wanna pick on me, jacket from Italy, ordered the rolls, but I want the Tiffany. You can't get these patties and tickle me. I seen old friends turn into ops, business deals, and I'm learning a lot. All the money I spent on tables, might as well open a furniture shop. Now they wanna know what I got in the bank. I was on a back row shot into Frank. Mizzy in the house, but it wasn't a prank. First link, she's off in her pants. It gets like that when you're top of the ranks. What you expect? Gotta stay off the neck, cause I can't argue with a bottle of tramp. G-Wag look like I got in a... Better watch what you say if my name's brought up. When we catch you, we ain't YouTube boxing. You're gonna pray that a Jake pulls up. Can't take it serious when they talk. Don't cross the line, it's a thin one. Couple buy-to-lets like Kyson, I need multiple streams of income. Think they can cross me till they get...
Look at the little disclaimer at the bottom. Look at the disclaimer at the bottom. Look at the disclaimer at the bottom. They don't let niggas live. Look at the disclaimer at the bottom. Consuming substances featured in this live could harm your health. Shut up. They're smoking weed. No one's doing pink cocaine. Chill the fuck out, TikTok.
Crossed off, soon as it pops off, gonna know what's what. Think you're a hot shot till you get knocked off. Tell him to square up, they's getting boxed off. She got a soft spot, up as a cop block. Ain't gonna stop her, that's gonna stop her. As soon as we stop off, she getting dropped off. They want my new shit, that's in a drop box. Some of the cost drop, she's in a crop top. Calling them convoy, how can they not watch Rolly and Rose go? This ain't a stop watch, she want a top dog. Give it a hot dog, titties are natural, that is a botched off. I got my crocs off, she got a top off. I'm getting topped off, she want a top spot. Knock knock, who's there? Party get locked off. And you know she's leaving with, I call her Hillary Clinton. I got your baby mum not dealing with her. Keep the curtains closed. They're like, why you...
Don't get me wrong, it's still sick anyway. To see artists of like, you know, Krept and Konan's level, they're doing this sort of stuff, and Skepta and JME is fucking sick. It's also a bit sad because it shows that there's a lack of that overall. There's nowhere they could just like pop up an MC and like have a, you know, chill jam session. Has to be planned way in advance. Like, you know, even Skepta, I think he's done like stuff out of cars and shit, because you just can't go to a club. You have to kind of do these things where you just rock up with a car, have a speaker, you know, park underneath that kind of arch in Shoreditch, next to literally around the corner from Shoreditch High Street Station. and do your activation that way. But you can't just do it in a normal club. You can't do it in a normal kind of venue, which is fucking annoying because of all the shitty licensing laws. But regardless, we're finding options. We're finding solutions to the problems. We're not whining and complaining. I fucking love it. I fucking love it. So big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, DJ AG. Really, really amazing to see. Really, really flipping amazing to see. Flipping love it. I'm definitely going to do my thing the same way when I end up getting my controller as well, and end up doing it the house and techno way and seeing if that kind of bangs as well. That should be good. That should be flipping good. Let's continue. Last couple of things to go before I have to pause, and then I'll be back probably later on as well to do a little bit of a random show as well. So tune in for that one later. That'll be happening. But let's just continue, quickly wrap up a couple of things also I wanted to mention. Skepta was also wearing, if you didn't see that, he was wearing some new Corteiz merch that's dropping this Friday. A couple of things dropping this Friday I wanted to mention. So first, this new Corteiz drop, which is really fucking sick. So in the drop featured are these items displayed on the Corteiz social media. You have this jacket here with the star. I'm gonna call it the driver. Would you call it a driver jacket? I've got one as well. I think I've got like a Dr. Martens one that's like made with another company collaboration. It's like waxed. That style of jacket, I'm assuming it's a driver's jacket. I think so, or maybe it's a motorbike jacket. I forgot what the style of it is, but essentially you got this. I guess it's club collar. I think it's a club collar with a big C on it. If I'm not mistaken, I think Dave wore this jacket ages ago in a shoot with Central C. So this is probably a jacket that's been in development for a long time. It's finally coming out, black, gray, and yellow. Really fucking nice, actually. Very, very, very nicely done. You've got everything here, different bits of leather material on the back with the Corteiz logo here. What do you call it? Really standing out against the gray. I actually like it a lot more now that I keep seeing it. I think in the beginning when they first sort of debuted this sort of logo, this with the script and the stars, I didn't really like it, but I'm actually starting to like the font and the logo itself quite a lot now. And then of course you've got the motorbike jacket itself with various sort of like Corteiz and motorbike inspired Corteiz logos all over it. So it looks pretty sick. You've also got this knit. You've also got, is it a knit? Maybe it's not a knit. Maybe it's the same sort of material you would get back in the day, like on your mum's curtains or a sofa. It features basically a painting of the Corteiz original, I guess, Alcatraz logo. Really, really, really flipping cool. A hoodie looks really cool. It looks actually padded as well, or quilted in some regards. So that's going to look really nice. And then of course you've got the black tracksuit that I fucking want. Fucking beautiful. This is the tracksuit that Skepta was wearing in that DJ AG live stream that we just watched now on TikTok. It looks fucking hard in my personal opinion. It's a black and white, it's a black tracksuit, which is my favorite as well because it's got contrast stitching. Anybody that knows me knows how much I fucking love black with white contrast stitching. Any piece of clothing, whether it's a Carhartt couture jacket, whether it's some Levi's jeans or something, anything with black with white contrast stitching, I'm all over it. So this particular hoodie is fucking sick. It's a particular tracksuit, and it's also got the Corteiz logo on the underside of the sleeves. I'm not too sure if there's 3M around it on the border. It's just white, but it looks really cool. You got the Alcatraz logo in a sort of white circular logo, which reminds me of like athletic brands in the past. You've also got the great paneling on it on the bottom as well. It kind of makes them look like double knee pants, sort of like tracksuit style, with a different sorts of paneling. You've also got the Corteiz logos written on either side, which I don't mind from them, to be fair. Even though if I was being picky, I'd say I might want the logos on the side of the trousers and on the underarm to be tonal, so not to have the white border, so it doesn't really pop up as much. But I guess it's the whole point, because I think you've already got a lot of pop off with the contrast and stitching. You don't need to have like the white on the border of the thing, but you know, design choices. And then you've also got the circular logo on the front there as well. Continuing on, you've got a t-shirt here with the Corteiz logo in really, really big font across the back of the shoulder, which is pretty cool. You've also got this grey tracksuit, which is really nice as well. I'm not usually the biggest fan of elasticated hems, but I think they do it really well, Corteiz, where it's elasticated but it's pretty wide, so you can still, my test is, can it go over a pair of Air Force Ones? And I think it can. I think it's wide enough where it can go over a pair of Air Force Ones without having to unzip it from the sides. Then you've got the Corteiz logo here in white on the side of the left leg. And then of course you've got the overstitch hoodie as well, which looks really nice. Kind of reminds me of like academics back in the day. So big up that as well. I love the look of that. And I think you got two, and another thing they do really well with the tracksuit bottoms I've seen, most of the track pants from what I've seen, I don't own anything from them, but from what I've seen, I think all the pants have zip pockets too, which is really handy because if you know, most tracksuits don't, and you end up losing a bunch of shit when you're wearing tracksuits, but they're really comfortable and easy to wear. So in a way to make me wear them all day, all week, all month is to make them have zip pockets so I can never lose anything. So that's fucking great. Love that. And then you've got these two Corteiz tops. You've got a cardigan with white Raglan sleeves, and you've also got a knit with the C logo right at the front there. Let's check some other stuff as well before we bounce. And then you've got a couple more bits here that I want to show you quickly. You've also got this jacket as well, which I really love the look of. I forgot what the model is. I think this model is the same one that JME was wearing, but a different sort of color. It comes in this like a red and orange sort of colorway, which looks really fucking cool. And then you've got a pink tracksuit, which is really fucking nice with a straight hem at the bottom, which I'm all over. It's in this like bubblegum pink, almost like a lilac color. And you've got the Corteiz written in an arch logo on either side. The zip is a double zip as well, so it zips from the bottom and from the top as well, which is pretty cool. I love the look of that. You've also got a Corteiz 5-panel hats, I'm assuming, or like new era-esque hats. I don't like the logo, not gonna lie. Not fond of the logo or the design of it. It's not for me. They look a little bit too Nigerian for me. If you know, you know. I'm not really too fond of the hats. The tracksuit, this one with the snake print, I'm all over it. This is fucking hot as hell. Could you imagine that with a pair of Margiela boots or something? You'd be looking crazy. They look fucking nice. I really do fucking like that. That's some sexy sweet boy time there. I love the look of that as well. You know, you could imagine wearing that, going to fucking the Ned or hanging out at fucking Shoreditch House one evening. Do you know what I mean? Trying to scoop up all the fucking snow bunnies and shit. You know how it is. Let's continue. Then we have a last couple of bits here. We have a denim suit, which features also a denim bomber jacket with the Corteiz logo. We also have some Corteiz jeans with the Corteiz logo on the side, which I'm not really the biggest fan of, but still it's there. One of my favorite pieces is this camo stuff they got here, camo cardigan. Sorry, it's a camo cardigan hoodie. No, camo knit hoodie, actually, with the Corteiz logo on there too. That was really fucking nice. There's also the same hoodie I featured previously. That's got, oh no, this is brown logo with the Corteiz logo written on it as well, which is really nice. So brown tracksuit, brown sweat tracksuit. No elasticated hem at the bottom, but it's got double zips as well at the top for the top. And then you've also got a jersey, which they do really well. I don't know where this jersey is inspired by. I'm not sure if this is the Inter Milan thing, a Lotto thing, but it's really nice regardless. An old school soccer jersey. I'm going to say like a 90s retro design, blue and white. Also blue and black for the most part. RTW rules the world at the back, number 18. And then you got the Corteiz Alcatraz logo on the front, which is really cool. Almost like I guess it's you could call it a soccer jersey. I would call it more soccer jersey anyway, but it looks really nice. So check that out. That stuff's going to be available, I think, on Friday. I'm pretty sure that stuff is dropping all on Friday. It should be anyway. That's what they usually do. It should be dropping on Friday. So check that out from Corteiz when the link is available. I think it's usually crtz.xyz is available on there. When that site opens, you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see it. Okay, my friends, that has been it. Short one quickly because I've got a meeting I've got to go to. So big up everybody tuning in. Appreciate you for now. I'm going to be back later on for another episode of this, and I'm going to do a random show. Thank you for tuning in so much. For those of you who are listening via the audio side of the podcast, I'm going to be playing my tune of the day. It's going to be for the audio listeners only. You'll hear my tune of the day. In case you want to know what my tune of the day is, my tune of the day is from the one, the only Machine Girl from the album MG Ultra. The tune I'm going to be playing as a tune of the day will be Grindhouse. As you can see here, courtesy of the screen, that's my tune of the day. Machine Girl, Grindhouse from the album MG Ultra, released last week. Check it out. Really good dubstep vibes, kind of inspired by my time at Forward, even though, no, drum and bass vibes, even though Forward was mostly dubstep, which I incorrectly said in the video. Everyone pointed it out to me, but regardless, check out Machine Girl. Great album, just dropped last week. And that will be my tune of the day. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Appreciate all of you. Make sure you have a good one. Like and subscribe, all that good shit. Check out the flipping notes on the timestamps in the description down below. Links to all my socials will also be there. And of course, as per usual, leave me a 5-star review. That'd be greatly appreciated. But for now, take care, people. Be safe. Peace.